Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of VMCTec. This is VMCTec episode 6 and I hope you enjoy. In the last episode, we built part of our mega base and the Teclympics build, and I am planning to add to both of those in this episode. The mega base, I'm planning on building a small path up to here where we'll build another house where I'm pointing, and I want to get some progress done on the Teclympics build. But first, in between episodes, I went mining, and well, I got a lot of stuff. Since that is a great amount of diamonds to have, I should also give you some bad news, which is that, as you might know, I don't have a very good connection to the server. So what that leads to is me dying from stuff I can't see on screen, like a ghast fireballing me before it even loads into my chunks when I'm traveling through the nether. So what that led to was, well, me dying and losing most of my stuff, including my elytra, my pickaxe, my silk touch pickaxe again, and my shovel, which I recently enchanted to make God shovel. So that wasn't nice. However, Tech Thor, he got me as his good deed. So he very graciously agreed to come over, and he gave me all of these books, which I can use whenever I need to get back up to speed. So big thank you to him. That was very nice. And yeah. With that out of the way, I think we can start on our Teclympics build, which will be part 1 of today's episode. Let's get to it. Okay, so after another bit of a grind, we have our build completely finished. That's right, there is nothing left to be added. It is completely functional and it works 100%, except for one thing. We need arrows and bows. So for the dispenser challenge thing over there, and for another obstacle over here, which I'll show you in just a second, we need arrows and bows. And obviously I don't have very large amounts of string, and these are all the arrows I own currently, which is obviously not very good. So I may have to put in a request to the chaircat to see if we can procure some arrows for that. But with this fully functional, I think I'll give you a quick run through of what we have to do, and then I think I'm going to start prettying this build up off camera. Now the reason I want to pretty the build up is, well, I don't know if you guys have seen, so I'll just fly over quickly and show you. As you can see over here, Avon's base is loading in, and this is her Teclympics build. It looks so good. If every build looks like this, then my stone monstrosity is going to look very ugly indeed. So we need to get up to beautifying that build extremely quickly. Also, I love what she's done with the place. It really does look like a kind of medieval village of sorts. So that's very nice. But anyway, I'll now fly back and show you what exactly are the obstacles for our build. So as you can see, as we get past this first part, which we built last episode, check that out on the card. Yeah, I suck at parkour. Anyway, as we finish that, we can see over here, after the arrow dispenser place, once you clear this, we have to run across this path. Now, what it might not seem like, it's not very visible, but some of these blocks are blue ice. Some of them, however, aren't blue ice. I didn't place these in a very easy way to show you, but if we fly down here, you can see that some of these are just regular stone and some of these are blue ice, which means that it's very hard to judge how fast you should go to make this jump and not fall off the edge. So yeah, that is another obstacle, and to a normal player who's not trying to beat this in a time trial situation, it's a very easy obstacle to pass. But when you're on the clock, it's hard to judge exactly how much momentum and where you need to be to turn and get onto this. Now, onto the next obstacle, which is, it's another bit of parkour, honestly, because I think that parkour is a really great way to put pressure on people in the time aspect. However, I want to give this parkour a twist by saying that the Teclympics, they could either continue on the route and get 5 stacks off their total time, which means, a huge time bonus, or they could leave through the coward's exit and not get that 5 stacks bonus. Now, you might be wondering how I decided 5 stacks. That's how long, like when the timer is running, that's how long it took me to clear this course. So, yeah, a valuable thing to do if you are good at parkour. So, as you can see, it starts off with a shulker which you have to open and jump on, which means that when you're opening a shulker, as you can see, it comes out, right? And that means you can stand on it and jump up to this block. Then we have a couple of head hitter jumps, and then if we come over here, you can see there's a 2-block jump right after that, which can catch a few people if they're just going full tilt like I was. Then they jump onto this, another block, 2 end rod jumps, and then up to here. Now up here, where this is the next obstacle, is we're going to have a bow and arrows in this chest. What the contestants will do is they'll have to shoot an arrow so that it goes and hits this button. That'll put that barrier down for as long as the arrow is stuck in here. Then the contestant has to go and collect their arrow, collect their 5 stacks off, name tag or whatever I decide to put it in here, and then press this button to get out. Now the reason for that last obstacle is so that people who come through the coward's route can't get to the 5 stacks off chest. I'm sure that the tech leads won't be that, I'm sure I don't have to make an obstacle like that, but just in case, I have done so. Then once all the athletes are done, they will click this button again, they'll be let through, and the timer will stop counting. So as you can see, our build is pretty much 100% done, apart from the arrows, as I said earlier. So this should be good. Now we will move on to the next part of today's build, which is either going to be working on our mega base or working on something at spawn. I'll see you then. So I forgot to mention, earlier I mentioned that Thor gave me a gift for his good deeds thing, where he gave me a shulker full of books so that I could enchant my pickaxes back. What I didn't realize was there was a chest right behind it, which was filled with fire resist potions. Now I assumed that that was just Thor adding to his gift, but that was actually Caden. So watch out, Caden. You should label your signs if other people, you should label your good deeds chest if other people's are, because, well, I thought that was from Thor. Either way, thank you to Caden. These will be handy in the nether when we go mining for magma, because I want to make a storage room up there, but more on that in just a second. So before we get to building that part, which I think is going to go on top of the hill, I want to go and start work on a project at the... Hold on a second. That's not normal. Oh, I know what this is. Anyway, I'll talk about it in just a second. But I want to go and start on a project that we have at spawn, which is what we decided in the last board of directors meeting. So I'll meet you there. So as we fly into the shopping district, you can see that there's this weird stone thing here. Now what this is actually a community build that me and Teclympics are going to be working on. So as you can see on top of the nether portal, there is a huge pile of diamonds. Those are the diamonds which everyone has paid for their shop spaces. And I thought that keeping the diamonds on top of the portal, it's kind of a cop-out. It's not a very interesting way to store them. So me and Loki volunteered to build a ravine sort of thing, which would have, the glass effect where you have lots of stained glass in layers all the way down. So we're going to have a black glass all the way down to like bedrock, hopefully, with lava spilling out and, ores on the sides, etc, etc. And we want diamonds to be bursting out of this ravine like some sort of diamond spring. I think that could be a very cool way to store our diamonds, and as they are used up, it'll tell the community that, we need to stimulate the economy a bit more, or if there are loads, it'll give people the incentive to, work, because, all their diamonds are stuck in the pile. Anyway, we will start working on that. I'll chip away at it in between episodes. I'm not planning to cover it while, I'm not planning to cover the actual process of building it, because it will get very tedious and I don't think it'll be that interesting. So I was just giving you guys a heads up on that. But the project I wanted to work on outside of our base was if you come through here and we go to our nether portal, you can see up until this point in our nether pathway, everything looks very cool and there's quartz everywhere. And then it kind of just fades off because no one, like when these pathways were built, no one lived in this kind of stretch except for I think maybe Teclympics. So this wasn't built up very well. So what I want to do is just out of the whatchamacallit, just as a nice thing to do for the server, I wanted to start renovating this kind of pathway. So actually this was in much worse condition than you're seeing it now. A really nice member of the server called Ryan Ali, she built all of this ice back up. She put the glass panes on the side and she added these stone brick stairs, and that was obviously very nice of her. Now what I want to do is finish the work. I want to make sure that this gets completely encased in something of some sort of cocoon kind of, so we can go from that side all the way back to the base without getting fired on by ghasts. I also want to potentially put buttons on this pathway to prevent wither skeletons or pigmen from being able to spawn in especially this nether fortress area. So that's very nice. Yeah, now the explanation for why Ryan Ali did all this, because I don't think she lives on this side of the map. So I'm fairly certain that when I open this dirt box up, I will see a bunch of villagers. Now what happened was, a few weeks ago I placed an order with Ryan to deliver a few villagers to me. I think I asked for 2, because then I could start a kind of village in this general area, maybe over there, to try and, you know, add a little bit more life to our build. Now obviously I'm not going to be making a villager breeder, because that is inhumane and against everything I stand for. So since that goes against everything I stand for, I will probably have to exploit a few game mechanics and get more than just 2 villagers in our village, but I'm not going to do anything inhumane. So look out for that in the next episode, hopefully. But as you can see, we have our villagers inside here. I think, how many are there in here? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my, okay, I didn't expect there to be 4 actually. I only ordered 2, so I think I'll pay the amount that we agreed on to Ryan. We'll do that, and then we will start work on the nether highway. I'm going to do that highway in the form of a third-person time-lapse, so I will see you in just a second. We're done. We're finally finished on renovating this entire iceway. I think it looks pretty good. It took a lot of time, especially since I don't have that much time to produce videos nowadays. So this took ages. But with that out of the way, this is looking very nice. It's also much safer. There's no need to get annoyed by ghasts. I should have made these out of slabs to mob-proof them from pigmen, but I'm not rebuilding this entire thing. So yeah, with that out of the way, I think we'll go and start working on the next project, which I think will be protesting against Cade and Heavy Industries. So as you might have seen in our last episode, we set up a base camp over at KHI, where me and Avon could base our protests, and if you check out Avon's latest video, she also started protesting just a little bit by setting up some signs. So I think we're gonna go over there and do a few shenanigans, and yeah, we'll see how that pans out, and I'll see you in just a second. And we're here at KHI, and as you can see in the main plaza, there is a sign which reads, "Can you smell it?" And there's some blood on the floor. Oh look, there's some innocent animal blood. And if we follow this trail, I wonder where it leads. Oh look, to the KHI factory floor. Where else would it lead, obviously? If we go down these stairs and step out onto this horrific large-scale operation, it's like mistreatment central down here. If we keep going down, oops, looks like the heads were changed to look like the animals they have inside. Dead. Bear witness to the horrors of big industry. And as you see in here, thousands of chickens stuffed into one block. Horrific, I tell you. Horrific. Look at this. Thousands, if not millions of cows die every year thanks to things like this. How cold-hearted do you have to be to do something like that? And if we follow the trail to the end of its path, well, let's show you where it leads. All the way over here to, which includes human enslavement. What else would you expect from an organization willing to stuff thousands of animals into a single block? Of course they have human slaves. And if you see at the very end of this path, down with big industry. Huzzah, huzzah! So yeah, as you can see, we have done our protesting against KHI. I think this will send a clear message. So with that all done and dusted, let's go back to the base and work on our mega build. So we're back at base, and I think now we're going to work on the next part of our base. So as you can see, we have our wood storage area, we have our stone storage area, but we don't have a centralized storage system for like miscellaneous stuff which can't warrant an entire build for itself. So what I'm going to do now is convert that area up here. So you see where my crosshair thing is looking. I'm going to shave the mountain off, decapitate it until there, add a nice build in this same style up on that hill, maybe as a kind of chest theme, or I don't know, some sort of storage area style theme, and we'll add a path going all the way up to there. So let's go do that. However, first we have to go and get ourselves a new shovel because I lost it while, well, you know, dying in between episodes. So let's go do that, and we'll hop into, I think, a progress update style build of the storage area. Let's go. So as you can see, we've made quite a bit of progress since the last clip. I decided to add a kind of fiery blazing pathway all the way up here because I can and it looks cool. So we're doing that, and if you come up here you can see the kind of style that I'm going for with this house. I want to make it look really like jaggedy and cobbled together. So as you can see, it's all kind of, well, it's not very plain, it's got a lot of depth. Oops. It's got a lot of depth, so that's nice. However, we are now done with the first floor, so let's go inside. You can see it's got a nice ambient kind of feel. I'm thinking maybe if we put, I don't know, like glowstone or something with a more soft warm light in this room than the torches, that'll be good. So we'll do that. But now I think it's time we start to work on the second floor. So this floor I think is going to be much more open. I'm probably going to slab this over and add glass around it, and then try and get that signature Viking style roof on top, though I'm not sure if I'll be able to fit that in, but we'll see how it goes. So I will see you in just a second. We're done. We've got the entire house built up. I've made all the modifications that I think are necessary. It doesn't look the best, but I'm pretty proud of it. I mean, given that I did build it, I'm proud of it. It looks a bit weird. I might cut those ends down a little bit, but apart from that, I think we're ready to start doing the interior. So give me a second and I will be right back. And we're done. As you can see behind me, I have the entire interior of this house completely finished up. We have the chests all ready to be labeled. I have put some provisional labels in, but when I move all my stuff over from the junk in my starter base over there, once I move it all over to here, we will see how the labels change. I will do that in between recordings because that's very tedious. But as you can see up here, we have bulk storage, so I'm thinking we have, you know, dirt, grass, podzol, etc., or something like that. Up here, it's also a nice view and a way for you to leave via elytra, especially if you're opening these trapdoors like this. However, it's a better idea to keep them closed because otherwise mobs can enter, and even with them closed, spiders can enter, so that is a problem. However, I think we're just about out of time for this episode, so we have done quite a bit. We've built the next part of our house, we have built the next part of our Teclympics build, and we finished up our nether highway, which took a long time. So with all those things out of the way, I think it's time we may just, oops, go away please, have to end the episode here. So, oh no, there are too many mobs here for me to be able to do an outro-ish kind of thing. So again, since we're ending the episode here, I think we're going to talk about one of the technocrats. And since we finished with Thor last time, let's move on to Techno. So as you guys may know, Techno, you could have seen him in my previous episode, or his base at least. He is the newest member of the server. He has a panda skin, and he is very, very proficient with making skins actually. He's British, as you'll probably be able to tell from his accent. And he's an all-round nice guy, as most of the people on the server are. Funny story about what happened with me and Techno once. So as I told you in a previous episode, Techno was part of the group of people who made maps for Caden Games' CTF thing. So in Techno's map, which he made, it was like a jungle style thing, and in that jungle there were two trees which were at the spawn, right? So the thing which happened is if you spawned at one of the locations, like if you spawned on the blue team's side, you could easily be sniped by another team like red. So me and Techno had a little bit of a friendly competition going on to see who could make the best map. And my map, the first one I made, it was less than good. It was absolutely horrendous. So everyone thought Techno would win, but then after Thor demonstrated that you could, after Thor showed us all his bowmanship when he was sniping us all to death basically, I won that competition. Now that may have been a kind of boring story, but I found it interesting, so that's that. Anyway, that is it for this video. So if you, oh my god, go away, I'm doing an outro. Anyway, that is it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, share, comment, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.